All right, welcome everybody to your employee benefit overview for Girl Scouts of Colorado. My name is Cheryl Bloom Garcia, and I will be your host today going over your benefits. And Jennifer Bell is your employee benefits specialist, so if you do have additional questions after today, make sure you give her a call or email her. That is her cell phone number, so you can send her a text there. What we're going to do today is go over your new benefit of your legal plan, your identity theft plan, which is called IDShield. We'll talk about how to use your membership, what your benefit options are, and then how to enroll. So let's talk about what is a legal plan. What would that benefit be for? So ask yourself these questions. Have you had a chance to update your will? How about signed a contract? Have you ever been charged or treated unfairly? Who has not received a traffic ticket? How about you go to a store that had a data breach? Or now with healthcare on the rise for data breaches, maybe that happened to you. Or maybe you've been in a situation where you thought the advice of a lawyer would be useful. So let me ask you this question. If you could pick up the phone, call an attorney, and not get a bill, would you do that? And that's really what your benefit has to offer you. So you have access to attorneys nationwide without worrying about the high hourly costs. So for one payroll deduction, thank you, Sheila, for working on that and getting that for us for the payroll deduction. That's an easy access for you that you can have access to the legal community no matter how trivial or traumatic the situation is. So how does it work? Every state has what's called a provider law firm. This is the law firm for Colorado: Riggs, Abney, Neal, Turpin, Orbison, and Lewis. Law firms have to have all those names. So we just call them Riggs Abney for short. So we have around 35 attorneys that are at your law firm. So they service Colorado. Now, if you have an issue outside of Colorado, let's say, for example, I became the executor of my parents' will. They live in Wisconsin. I always call my provider law firm first. So I call Riggs Abney. Riggs Abney gets me connected to the Wisconsin law firm. Or how about if you get a speeding ticket in Nebraska, New Mexico, Wyoming? You first call Riggs Abney. Riggs Abney then will get you connected to that law firm. So you'll receive what's called a membership number, and then you also receive a 1-800 number. That 1-800 number goes right to your law firm, where an intake specialist will ask you, what are you calling about? So the first part is to call your law firm. So on your enrollment folder, if you want to open it up, and on the left-hand side, the first part talks about preventive law. So you have access. It says unlimited number of issues. So you have unlimited advice. So right there on that folder somewhere, write this down. I need advice on, because this is how you're going to use your membership. I need advice on. So when you call that 1-800 number and you're calling into your law firm, when the intake specialist says, what are you calling about? You're going to say, I need advice on. I need advice on child custody. I need advice on a landlord-tenant issue. I need advice on being overcharged for a repair. I need advice because my neighbor is building a fence on my property line. I need advice because I'm buying a house. I need advice I'm selling a car. I need advice because I have to sign this release for my children to go on a field trip, and I just don't feel comfortable doing that. I need advice on ... Whatever kind of life event is going on, now you can call your law firm and talk to them about that situation. Now, there is one topic that you cannot call about because it is a benefit through your employer, so you can't call about employment issues. But everything else, you will call and talk to your attorney. Now, on the left-hand side here, you'll see this phone on your webinar, and it says call your law firm. Now, this is an app. So you can download this app on your smartphone, and you can tap the app, and then right above the app it says family plan. It has a number there. That's your membership number. So all you do is you tap the app. You have the member number right there, because when you call in, they'll ask you for your member number. What are you calling about? I need advice on. And then an attorney will call you back within 8 hours to talk to you about what topic it is. Now, our law firm has committed that if you call, like if you called right now, you would get a call today. Not Saturday and Sundays, but Monday through Friday, for that unlimited telephone consultation. Now, once you talk to the attorney, if the attorney feels the next step is a letter or a phone call, they will do that on your behalf. So we had an employee, she had one of those bundle packages where she had her cell phone, her home phone, her internet, her cable. Over a 6-month period of time, she'd been overcharged $400. So she tried to call herself. Of course, nothing happened. You know, she never talked to a person, so she called her attorney. The attorney wrote a letter on her behalf, and she got her $400 back. We had another employee that was renting an apartment. Her dishwasher stopped working. She called the landlord. The landlord told her, why don't you go on YouTube and try to figure out how to fix it? And she thought, wow. She called her attorney. The attorney made a call on her behalf. She had a new dishwasher in 2 days. Don't you kind of wonder what that call was about? How about a contract? The next part is contracts. We're always signing contracts or documents, and you have unlimited contracts or documents. Each one is 15 pages. So you might want to jot that down on your folder where it says contract and document review. Put 15 for 15 pages for the review. We were doing some remodeling on our house, really wasn't a contract, it was more of a bid. I faxed it into the attorney because I could. I didn't have to think about how much it was going to cost. They said one was better than the other because one guaranteed the work and the material, where the other one just guaranteed the material. So it helped us make a better decision. Now you'll see there's another IRS audit assistance on your folder. And that's 50 hours. And this is for your personal taxes. So you might want to put 50 next to that, 50 hours. That's going to cover your 2016 taxes. Now, if you have a business or your spouse, significant other has a business, we have a separate business plan, and then see Jennifer for more information about that. You'll also see that there's a civil trial defense. So if somebody tries to sue you for a civil defense, not a criminal, but civil, they don't like where you park your car, your dog barks too loud. You know, we are a sue-happy society. So here you're going to have 60 hours the first year. Every year you continue the benefit. You get another 60 hours. Your premium stays the same up until the 5th year, where you have a total of 300 hours. I used to work in higher education. That is a high risk occupation because I was around a lot of people. And I heard several times, I'm going to sue you. And I felt more at ease because I had this coverage. Yeah, the college had a plan, right? But they were going to go after the college. They were going to go after me. They never did that. But knowing that I had that gave me peace of mind for that. Now, in the middle of your folder, you'll see where it says Family Domestic Services. This has a 90-day waiting period. So everything here says uncontested. Uncontested means that both parties agree. So both parties agree on the divorce, both on the adoption, both on the separation, and both on the name change. Now, Jennifer was, before she knew about LegalShield, she actually went through an uncontested divorce, and she spent $2,000 to have an attorney do up the paperwork. Now, that's included in your benefit at no additional charge. So you'll see up in the first part where it says wills, your will package, you have the attorney, the law firm that's going to prepare your will, your living will, and your health care power of attorney. All three of those things are included in your benefit at no additional cost. Now, if you went down the street or you went to an attorney outside of LegalShield, for you and your spouse or significant other to get that will package, because you each have to have your own will package, that's a $1,500 value. If you're a single person, that's a $700 value, all included in your benefit. There was a couple from Aurora. They were on date night. They were on Highway 270, and they were both killed in a car accident. Now, unfortunately, they did not have a will. Their little 7-year-old went through 5 foster care families until a judge decided which grandparent that child was going to go to. Now, if you've ever had a family member pass without a will, you probably know that it's not a very fun situation. I had that happen with my father-in-law, and he had property, a gun collection, a coin collection. They were fighting over everything. And so it's so important for us to take that responsibility and get these important papers in order. So you get your will, living will, healthcare power of attorney. So it's your voice about what's going to happen to the guardianship of your children. It's your voice on what's going to happen to your assets. And it's your voice about what's going to happen if you go on life support. What do you want to happen? That's all included in your package for that. So you can tap the app and get started working on your will on your app. Now, once you send in the information to the attorney, the law firm has 10 days to write your will. So an attorney's going to write your will, and then you need to get it signed and notarized. So somewhere on your folder, write that down. Once you complete your will and you get your wills back from the attorney, you need to take it and get it notarized with 2 witnesses. Because if you don't, it's like not having a will. It's so important to do that. My aunt had the law firm do her will. On her kitchen table after she passed, there was a note on the envelope that said, go get this notarized. And she didn't. So it made it much more difficult to do anything because I was not the executor of the will then because of the state laws. So let's get that done. 24/7 emergency access. This is my second favorite. The first favorite part is what we just talked about, the will, because it's so important. The second part is 24/7 emergency access. You, on your app, right here, you tap the app within minutes, you have access to an attorney. Now, the first part where you call your law firm, that's Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. But if you're in a situation where you're pulled over, you're detained, there's a warrant out for your arrest, or you're in a car accident, you have access to an attorney. We were coming back from the mountains one night, and we stopped for dinner. My husband backed up his big Chevy truck, didn't see this little car, put a dent in the car. It was about 12 inches across. They exchanged information, and then they just sat there. They didn't go anywhere. Then the guy gets out of the passenger side, and he starts rubbing his neck. Okay, time to tap the app. So we tapped the app. Within a minute, I was talking to Sarah at the law firm, explained the situation, and she said, you did everything right for a private lot. But if they file a personal injury claim and you don't have a police report, your husband will get a ticket for leaving the scene of an accident. Now, we would have never known that without having access to information. So we called the police, we got the police report, and then Monday, they filed a personal injury claim on my husband. So the good news is that we had access, we knew what to do. He didn't get a ticket for that. We also have the 25% member discount. Now, remember in that one section, we were talking about family matters and we have an uncontested divorce. Well, let's say both parties don't agree anymore and it becomes a contested divorce. That would go in the 25% member discount. A bankruptcy would go in there. So when you need a little more help the 25%. Now, 97% of everything that goes on in our life is covered under your benefit. But just in case you need additional help, we have that discount for you. Now, how about getting a speeding ticket? We want to help you keep your points or your insurance not to go up, because the points are what can increase your insurance for that. Oh, goodness, we have another webinar going on here. One moment. Let me turn that off. There we go. Okay. That was interesting. All righty. Oopsie. Sorry about this little technical. There we go. Okay, from current slide. All right. So Snap. So on your app, when you get a speeding ticket, take a picture of it through Snap on your app. It will send it over to the law firm, and within 8 business hours, an attorney will call you back and let you know, is this something that you need to go to court for? Do you need to pay it? You know what your rights are. I was driving up by Thornton. I thought the speed limit was 65, but it was really 55. I was going 72 in a 55. I got a 6-point ticket. Now, I could have signed the back of the ticket, but I still would have had 4 points. My goal was to get it under 3 points. So what I did is I got the ticket over to the law firm. We have 5 attorneys that go to traffic court every day. So they know the DAs, they know the judges, they know, what we need to go to court for and not. She said, I know where you got the ticket, and we need to go to court on this one. So we went to court together, all part of my benefit, no additional cost, and she got it down to 2 points. That was my goal, to help me save money on my insurance rates for that. So that's called Snap. Now, who's covered under the benefit, legal benefit? Well, it's you, your spouse, significant other, domestic partner, never married, dependent children up to the age of 26, if they're a full-time college student, or living at home, never married. Now, if you're the legal guardian of a child up to the age of 18, they're also included. If you have a physically or mentally challenged child living at home, no matter what the age is, they're also covered under the family plan. Now, we also do have an individual plan, and this is for you've never been married. You don't have an ex, okay? Because last week I had an employee, she signed up for this because she was divorced, but she had questions about her divorce. Well, that's not covered on this plan because it's about a family member. Yes, it was previous family. So you've never been married, you don't have any children on that. So most people just go for the family plan to make sure that you are completely covered. So the question is, would you rather spend $250 an hour for an attorney, or would you rather spend $8.75 per pay period to have law firms across the United States helping you? Now, we've been in business for 45 years. So this isn't kind of a startup idea. It's been something where we have helped thousands of people. Now, the second part of your benefit is your identity theft. So we'll go over what is IDShield. That's on the right-hand side of your enrollment folder. So when identity theft happens, 70% of the time it becomes a legal issue. So you have the opportunity for your benefit to put the legal and the IDShield together. So your attorney can talk to your private licensed investigator. And we all know that identity theft is a major problem in America. But maybe what you don't know is that it's in different areas of identity theft. Because a lot of people think that identity theft is a credit fraud. That's only 17% of identity theft. So that's part of it. Sometimes people say, well, I have that on my credit card. Yes, that's only going to do your credit card. But the number one identity theft that's on this list is medical fraud. Somebody uses your medical insurance, they don't have insurance, or they have a procedure where they don't want that on their medical record, or they're going to sell it on the black market for $50. Now, your credit cards go from $7 to $10. depending on how much money you have available on that. So also Social Security. Somebody uses your Social Security for jobs, for electrical bills. How about somebody uses your driver's license, commits a crime in your name, doesn't show up for court, now there's a warrant out for your arrest. Some of you probably have to have a certification where you have to take continuing ed credits to keep your certification. If somebody used your driver's license, committed a crime, you didn't know it, we had that happen to a physical therapist. She didn't, but somebody used her driver's license, got picked up for drugs and prostitution. She couldn't get her certification back for 2 years. So she couldn't work as a physical therapist for 2 years because that happened. And so what do you do with all these different types? And so IDShield, your benefit, is with Kroll, Kroll, and they also have been a business for 45 years. They're the world's leading risk management consultant. So let me ask you this. If you became a victim of identity theft today, what would you do? And most of us, we don't know what to do. So let's look at what your benefit will do for you. First, there's 3 parts to it. First is monitoring. So if you go into an encrypted website, and it's going to monitor everything about you, your social security number, date of birth, your driver's license, you can put in your passport, 10 addresses, 10 emails. We now have social media monitoring. It also would do 10 credit cards. You can decide how much information. I have all my information in there because I would rather have this company, 45 years old, monitoring my information that's already out there anyways, to know that they have my back on that. That's the first part. So this is your app. Now, I would be a little scared if I got 19 new alerts on my IDShield, because that means something's been happening. So you get this push out notification if something happens on one of those things. So you can call, see where it says call your IDShield advisor. That's really the second part of your benefit, is the consultation. So you can call and find out, what are those alerts? What are those about? You actually tap into that. It'll come up on a list. It'll show you, like I signed up for a Sears credit card. So I got a push out notification. I go to my app. I see it's Sears. I press OK. That was me. If it wasn't me, then I need to talk to the private license investigator. So this is more immediate. Now, if you don't have a smartphone for this, everything is done via email. We just feel that the smartphone is quicker. It's faster for you to get information. So you'll always have that second part, which is the consultation. We also have the 24/7 emergency hotline. So a state employee, Sunday night, he was reading through his email, and it looked like it was an email from the credit union. And it's called phishing, right? They're trying to lure you in so that you give them the information. He filled out the information, pressed enter, and thought, ooh, I probably shouldn't have done that. Right, he shouldn't have. However, he had access 24/7 to the emergency hotline for that. Then the third part of your benefit is restoration. So no matter what area of identity theft, even if you had a pre-identity theft event, I've run into so many employees that they've had something happen maybe 2 years ago and they didn't take care of it. Well, because they don't know how. They didn't have a resource, but now you do. So this is Patrick. He's one of our private license investigators. He's going to do whatever it takes, as long as it takes, to clear your records for life. There's a $5 million service guarantee, so he's going to restore your identity to pre-theft status. Who's covered on IDShield? So again, we have a family plan and we have an individual plan. So the employee, spouse, significant other, domestic partner, and then on the IDShield, again, it's those dependent children. They're covered on the consultation and restoration. Now, if you need them to have the monitoring, like let's say they're off to college and you want them to have monitoring, that would be a separate plan. But on your benefit, we can cover them on the consultation and the restoration for that, okay? Now, people that buy IDShield outside of an employer group, they don't have that feature. So you have that feature. And another feature they don't have is pre-existing. So if you have any pre-existing identity theft issues, once you get enrolled, make sure you call and find out what's going on so that they can start searching and helping you clear that up. Now, if it's just you, now here, if you're divorced, that's okay. You can sign up for the individual plan here because it's just going to be what's very active right now for you on that. So here's an example of the app, which we kind of showed you earlier. You also get what's called a monthly score tracker, so that'll be on there. And then, oh, this is so great. So how would you like to have savings in all these different areas so that you really don't have to pay for your benefit because you're saving money on 450 vendors per month to pay for your benefit? And these change all the time. So when it first came out, I have Sprint. So it's not Sprint now. I think it's T-Mobile or AT&T because it changes. But I had Sprint. So I saved $20 on my Sprint phone, my phone bill every month. That pays for my legal plan, right? I don't know, maybe some of you are bicyclists. We had a woman save $200 on her bike going through Diamond D-Back up there in the left-hand corner. Maybe you want some movie tickets. You can save 20% on a movie ticket. Every 2 weeks, you'll get an email if you opt into it that says, what are your member perks? And then when I was driving back to Wisconsin, well, my husband was driving, and I was looking up the member perks to find out where we could stay in Nebraska, and I found a hotel for $20 because it's on the app. So I could do the app, and I saved $20 a night. I went down to Alamosa. I saved $20 a night at my hotel there. How about computers, if you're looking for computers? So there's all kinds of things that are available to you there because we want to help you supplement your cost for your benefit, and you can save money. Now, you may be saying, well, how much is this, right? I know you've kind of seen it listed up there as we went through it. So again, you have the option of the legal plan only or IDShield only, or you can bundle those together. So on the family legal, it's $875. This is per pay period. The family IDShield is $875. When you bundle those together, you may think I don't know how to do math, but when you bundle those together, you get another discount, and that's why it's $1565 per pay period for both of those, covering your entire family. Now, if you're an individual, the legal plan is $782. The IDShield is $413. And if you bundle those together, it's $11.95 a month. So in your packet, you have an application that looks like this. Now, today's date, actually, that will be September 1. That's the effective date of your benefit. So you put in 09/01/2017. Off to the right, please choose a plan. I think up on the top up here, Jennifer put a sticker. So the stickers there, you just circle which one that you want, and we'll fill out these little bubbles for you. On the applicant's Social Security number, we just want the last 4 digits of your Social Security number. What is your date of birth? What is your name? You're the applicant. What is your email? Co-applicant is your spouse, significant other, domestic partner, and then over to the right, hopefully you know their date of birth. What's their email? If you have it. If you don't, you can skip that one. Address, this is your mailing address, city, state, phone number. Make sure you put in a home phone number, because if you are somewhere and you call the law firm and you don't have your membership number, they can look you up by whatever you put in this category, your home phone number. Okay, flip it over, and here's where you're going to put your children. So last, first, and their date of birth, and then go down here, and then you need to sign it. And then where it says payroll deduction authorization, from the label on the top, put what the deduction will be, and then just sign there, and then we can do the rest filling this out, or if you want to fill it out, that would be great and help us out that way. But that's the application. So the next steps are to complete the enrollment application. Again, only the last 4 digits of your SOCH. The applications go to Sheila in HR. They're due on next Monday, which is August 21st. The benefit is effective September 1. And then once you're enrolled, you'll go to mylegalshield.com. That's your member portal. Then you'll download your app on your phone. There's a will webinar on mylegalshield.com. It's 17 minutes to get you started getting your wills done. You'll also find member perks at mylegalshield.com, or it's also on the app. 2 weeks ago, we just added a form center. So there's, if you have a rental property, if you do dog sitting, you're selling your car, there's also legal videos. Let's say 2 o'clock in the morning, you're like, I don't really know what a living will is, but I need to call my attorney, at 8 o'clock. There's some videos on there for your review to get some general information before you call your attorney. Okay, well, we want to thank you for being on the webinar and getting information about your new benefit, LegalShield and IDShield.